Hello, yogis. Welcome to this Yin Yoga session for opening your body and mind. It's a slower paced practice that releases the body and mind by slowing down and taking support from props and the ground. So before we begin, create some relaxing atmosphere in your yoga space. Maybe you clear out clutter, dimmer lights, light a candle, burn incense, or rub a few drops of lavender oil into your hands and on your pulse joints. And we're going to begin our practice in a child's pose. Spread your knees wide, toes come to kiss. With a straight back, let's take a big inhale. And with the exhale, walk your hands forward and extend your spine and your arms. We're just taking a few deep breaths here. On the inhale, expand your belly out like a big balloon. And on the exhale, gently release your belly towards the spine. And keep breathing deeply, elongating each inhale and each exhale. Yin Yoga is a cold, dark, passive, female power. Practitioners of Yin Yoga typically hold a relaxed posture for 3 to 5 minutes. This leads to a stronger and more durable and supple body and makes connective tissues more durable and longer. No And with your next breath, begin walking your hands back. Now let's transition to a seated position. For the next asana, we'll need one block. Come to sit and release yourself all the way down on your back. Keep your knees bent for now. Bring your feet closer to your glutes. Raise your hips slightly up. Grab a block and place it underneath your sacrum. We'll practice your supported bridge pose. And you can keep your knees bent if it feels good. Or you can slowly extend your right leg down on the mat and your left leg down on the mat, adding a nice stretch on the top of your legs, your belly, and maybe you bring your arms all the way over your head. Add a nice stretch and opening in your chest and arms. And I will start my timer. We'll hold this asana for 2.5 minutes. So get really comfortable in the pose and try to relax, sinking into the block and your mat. we take in a few more deep breaths, inhaling and expanding your belly out, exhaling and releasing, relaxing your belly in. And let's slowly bring your arms down on both sides of you. And just take a breath, let your body adjust. And slowly bend your left knee, foot flat on the mat. And bring your right knee and right foot closer. Lift your hips up, remove the block, and release your hips down on the mat. Now draw your knees close to your chest, give them a nice hug, and start rolling side to side, massaging your back gently. Nice counter pose after a big stretch in your bridge pose. And let's roll onto one side. And pressing down with one hand, rise up. And find a position on your hands and knees. For the next asana, we will need 2 blocks, so just set them up at the top of your mat. And bring your elbows on top of the blocks, keeping your knees at about 90-degree angle. Connect your palms together and release your chest towards the ground. Release your head and face down to the ground. Puppy pose on the blocks. And this is a big stretch in your shoulders and armpits, in your spine, and opening in your chest. So try to find comfort in this pose and release any tension you have. And we are spending a few more moments here in your puppy pose, deepening the breath and feeling this nice extension in your upper body. And start walking your knees slightly closer. And take a moment. Now release your elbows off the blocks. And find your way to your hands and knees. Move the blocks out of your way. Now let's take a few cat-cow movements. Start inhaling, raise your tail, drop your belly down and shine your chest forward. Exhale, tuck your tail, round your spine, look down. Just like this a few more times, connecting your movement and your breath together. And find your flat spine. Now let's step your right foot forward. And now heel toe your foot towards the left hand and find your pigeon pose. And in your pigeon pose, let's take a big breath in your proud pigeon with your spine nice and long. Now let's take one block and place it underneath your right hip. This helps to keep your hips in one line. Inhale, shine your chest forward. And with a big exhale, walk your hands forward. Maybe you come down on your elbows, or maybe you extend your arms forward. Whatever serves you right now, take it. And feeling this big sensation in your right glute and right hip. Beautiful opening, circulation of your blood right there on your right side. Send all your breath and awareness there. Let's take a few slow breaths. Beautiful moments here in your pigeon. And slowly rise up on your hands. And remove the block. Tuck your toes, lift your knees slightly up, and step back into your tabletop position. And just wiggle your hips side to side, releasing tension. Now let's take a step forward with your left foot and heel toe it over to the right side. Finding pigeon on the left. And take a moment here in your proud pigeon. Take the block, place it underneath your left hip. And once again, big breath, shining your chest forward. And with the slow exhale, release yourself down on your elbows or all the way down, extending your arms in front of you. And in your pigeon pose, it's very common to feel lots of sensations and emotions. The second chakra, the sacral chakra, is known as the emotional epicenter and is housed in the hips. So that explains the strong emotional reaction many have when practicing hip openers, especially pigeon pose. So now, instead of focusing exclusively on physical sensations, which are often intense, try to explore what feeling or emotions arise. And carefully rise up on your hands. Take a moment here in your proud pigeon. Now let's remove the block from underneath your hip. Tuck your toes, make some space to step back into your tabletop. Now let's wiggle your hips side to side once again. Nice. And now let's find a seated position, bringing your legs in front of you. And grab both blocks and place it at the top of the mat in a T shape. Now we're going to release your upper body on the blocks. The first block will go in between your shoulder blades, and the second block is for your head. Take a moment and adjust the blocks for your body. Bring your arms in a beautiful cactus position. Walk your feet closer to your glutes. And let your knees fall open to the sides, creating butterfly shape. So we practice in your reclining butterfly pose and a big chest and heart opener on the blocks. It's a beautiful asana that offers not only a hip opening in your inner groin and thighs, but can also help you to open up tight tissues across the front of your chest and shoulders. And this is a great asana to connect with your deep belly breathing and observe the movement of your diaphragm in your torso. So with a big inhales, let's expand the belly out. And with your long exhales, gently relax belly towards the spine. Breathing deeply and mindfully, intentionally, creating more space in your body and mind. And we are spending a few more last moments in the asana. And slowly bring your arms along your sides. And carefully bring your knees together. Help yourself with your hands. And rise up to a seated position. Keep your knees bent and start swaying them from side to side like windshield wipers. Now cross your legs to your Sukhasana and give yourself a nice hug. And move your upper body side to side carefully. And now let's change the grip, the top arm. And once again, move your torso side to side. And release your arms. Let's take a big breath, hands at your heart. Inhale, raise your arms up to the sky. And exhale, bring them back down to your heart center. Humbly bring your head down. And let us be very mindful and kind about our thoughts, words, and actions. Namaste from my heart to yours.